292 677666. You want a house? Link Claudia Davis, man. You want a piece of land? She are the real big woman, Miss Davis, she are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. They can put horse and a van through she. They can put acre land and a Miss D are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. They can put horse and a van through she. They can put acre land. She tell me pretty smart, pretty better. Get your own damn place so you prefer it. Dear me wife if you sign up letter. NHD them a real trend setter. Plus me don't get a youth of a member. My son just on table in December. And she do construction too. She will build your house for you and you get it well rendered. Davis, she are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. You can put house and a van through she. You can put acre land and a Miss D are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. You can put house and a van through she. You can put acre land. She now start it and left you there. Me a tell your brother, yes, she well prepared. And if you're meeting enough farmer bangarang, she give you lawyer, brother, clear your fear. She are the best RST agent. She help the need if you stop pay rent. They don't care bad mind them, just give me strength by steel and gravel and black and cement house. Now me house that I build up on the high, me a save some me money gone up in the sky from. Maybe Claudia, me say me nah lie bang. Have money and me pocket never giant. Me swear for me life, say me son him have to fly so. Hypocrite pagan while we die. And you can't stop Claudia Davis on try. Every day another house gone Miss Davis, she are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. They can put house and a van through she. They can put acre land and a Miss D are the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. They can put house and a van through she. They can put acre land. Yeah man, you know. It's Claudia Davis. Pick up yourself. That's a like, subscribe, and share. Claudia Davis. And get your house anywhere. Just be prepared without no fear.
Good morning, everyone. Mom, can you hear us?
Tony, I'm not hearing.
You're not hearing. At all? She's not hearing me. Let me text her 1 moment.
Tony, I'm not hearing you. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. 1 moment.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you.
Okay, great. I'm hearing you now. My speaker was down. Technology. Are we live?
Yes, we're live.
Good morning, everybody.
Can you see the messages?
Yeah, I can't see the screen.
Okay, wonderful. I'm hearing a slight feedback on your end. Is your mobile device close to your laptop?
It's there, but it's on mute.
Okay. Or maybe turn down your volume just a bit.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, that's much better. Thanks. All right, so morning, Janice Jackson. Good morning, Janice.
Morning, Janice. You're up early today.
I'm also seeing Maxine B. Good morning, ladies. I haven't catch the live in a while. I was always at work.
All right, well, we're glad you could join us now.
But it must be a serious job to be doing, to be at work at 6 a.m. on a Sunday morning.
Probably healthcare.
Yeah, so some
or healthcare or armed services is something essential though.
yeah. Jenny says, here getting ready for my day and your life popped up. Doing well. Hope you are too. Thanks for joining us, Janice. Joan says, good morning, ladies. Happy early this week. It's 12 o'clock here. In the morning?
In the morning, 12 o'clock. Sounds like England.
England? Wouldn't it
12
be?
midday.
Oh, 12 midday in England. Yeah.
Mhm. Right, Maxine B says she works in a hospital. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Health services. That's what I hated when I was trying to be a radiography. When I tried to do radiography, but I came to my senses.
Would that work have suited you though, Mom? Because you like to communicate a lot with people. So I don't. That type of job is mostly silent, isn't it? Because
No,
you just
that job is interact. Well, anything to do with healthcare is interacting with persons when they're not at their best, right?
right.
And
Because
they're
I
in
was
a
one-way communication.
lot of pain. That's just not me. Um, so I'm sure like people like Maxine do a good job of it, but not me. So who else is here? Oh, Janice. Oh,
And we have Sharon is here. Good morning. Morning, Claudia.
am I allowed to?
Dion
Somebody,
is here too. Are you
you know,
able to?
caring people, yeah. I mean, if you're not caring, it don't make sense in healthcare, really. But at the same time, if you're too caring, you can't do the job. Because you just cry and break down way too much. You have to be strong, you know? You can't be too caring. You have to be firm, but still be able to do the job. Caring, but not too caring.
Mhm.
Joan says, still interested in Palmetto Pines. Oh, hi, Sharika. Morning. Short stuff, Tony. Good morning. First time joining.
Oh, short stuff.
Short. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much.
What does Joan say? She says, still interested in Palmetto Pines, but my son says not to hurry into anything. I think I want to be careful. Yes, Joan. And Palmetto Pines will be having phase 2 as well. So there is still an opportunity, even if she decides later down.
Think what you want carefully. You're not in Jamaica, and I'm not in any trouble where I am living, so I should calm down a bit. Don't know what that means in a Joan, but for me personally, I get jittery with money in the bank, right? Because I was alive and kicking when FinSac happened in Jamaica, when the interest rates went very high, persons couldn't afford mortgages and so on. And the banks closed, persons were running to the banks, and persons couldn't pay their mortgages. So the banks kind of went insolvent, I should say. So other persons now who had money in the bank couldn't get it out because the bank went belly up, bankrupt, literally. And the doors closed, they couldn't get in. So Jamaica went through that. I was around when that happened. Tony was around too, but she don't remember it because she was in the nitty gritty of it. But quite a number of banks closed down. You can read the history on that.
What I do remember though is the long lines. Like I do remember people lining up at what was the place off Trafalgar? Just hundreds of people.
Trafalgar.
Yeah.
It could have been Century. And so many banks along the stretch. But the thing is though, I believe in land banking, right? Traditional banking, land banking. You hear me talk about it all the time. So land banking is where you actually park the money in the land instead. So let us say you have 10 million. Instead of having the 10 million in the bank, you look for a piece of land and you buy it for 10 million. The money is in the land. The value is in the land. You decide to sell the land, you can sell the land and extract your 10 million and more, right? Also, you can do the other things. So let us say you don't have 10 million, but you find yourself with a 500,000 that can be a deposit. So you find a piece of land, so like the parameter 6.5 or 7.5. You find a piece of land that is 6.5, 7.5, you have 500,000, you deposit, pay your closing costs, then you look at loan for the rest. That loan that you're paying, so let us say your loan is, how much will be the loan, Tony? I don't even know. Let us say 50,000. That 50,000 is like you saving 50,000 in the land. You're paying a mortgage to the mortgage company, and you're saving 50,000 every month because you have to pay the mortgage company. If you don't pay the mortgage company, then they're going to take the place from you. So while you're paying the 50,000, you're paying down the mortgage, so you're building your own equity now in the land. I'm sure when you're ready to sell, the land value is going to be more. Well, that has happened to us all the time. The land value is more. You sell the land, you pay off the bank, and you still have money in your pocket. I usually have way more than what you put in. So you may put in only the 500,000, and you may find that have 2 million, 2.5 million. But if you had put that 500,000 in the bank, it would not have reached 2 million, 2.5 million, maybe not in your lifetime. Because the interest rates are sub-zero. I call them sub-zero. I think interest rates are like 1% and 2% now, right? And those little bit of $50,000 money. Because that little bit of money is not money the bank don't want that little bit of $50,000. So you have to be smart with the money, right? So yes, I hear him say don't rush, don't whatever, but that is youth talking. That's a youth talking, right? Now, sometimes I listen to Tony and we should make a suggestion or something. Sometimes I won't. Simply because I have the experience. I have other knowledge, put it that way. I have other knowledge. Jenny says money in the bank creeps in growth. Money in the bank is dead money, guys. Dead, dead, dead. You ever see a dead ass and you try to flag it and it can't rise all now? That's money in the bank. It's dead, totally dead. Useless thing. Because while that money is 1%, your inflation is at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10%. Everything is going up around you except the money. Now the only horse. So let us say inflation is a horse and it's riding. The only horse that can keep pace or outpace inflation is real estate. That's the only horse. Like back in the day in Jamaica, you had a horse called She's a Manita. She's a Manita. Go Google her. They've retired her now. But She's a Manita. We never race. I think it must have got 2 races she didn't win. That is real estate. Real estate is She's a Manita. Real estate will keep pace with inflation and it will eventually overtake it. I can tell you. Properties, lands that were bare lands that we sold in Draxall for 100,000 2-3 years ago. They're now at 175,000. Yes, I'm gonna bring them up. So it will just hold past inflation, right? And that represents a what? Somebody do the math. What percentage increase that? I'm sure it's not 6% or 8% that inflation is running. So you see, a horse called real estate, she's a manita. Or I should say, she's a inflation eater. She just move it and run down it. Right? So yeah. The son is saying don't rush and don't whatever. But my ripe age here now I've learned not to sit on the fences and wait on anything. Not a husband, not a child, nothing. No education, anything I want. I am bolting out of the blocks. Bolting. I'm like she's a manita. I am bolting out of the blocks to go and get it, right? So if it's health you want, wealth, education, husband, children, this, that. Bolt out of the blocks.
Mom, the
What I
inflation,
understand, hold on, Tony?
the inflation rate, it says it's 2023, it's 6.47%. 2022 though, it was 10.35%.
In 2022.
Yeah,
The
it went
funny
down.
thing is, I don't trust those inflation rates that they're telling us because I went in the supermarket. Let me see if I can find the picture. I actually sent it to Rambo, so I know, I remember. And the pound, how much I see tomatoes for? I am sure tomatoes were like way cheaper than that before at one point. Tony, see, I'm sending it here to you. You can put it up. So that inflation rate of 6% is not playing out in your grocery. It's not playing out in your shopping cart, right? Also, it's not even paying out in your rent. Because remember now, these landlords are serious. They can raise your rent 7.5% every year. Isn't that above inflation rate of 6%? Come on. So, how much inflation at 6% in 2023? Yet a landlord can raise your rent to 7.5% in Jamaica every single year. Just that the landlords in Jamaica are not serious and I'm sorry for you. So them nobody raise the
The
rent.
thing is, I don't think landlords in Jamaica really run their rents like true business.
Yeah, I'm not really landlord. Just a get at it, right? But the inflation, think about it. So Tony is gonna bring up the tomato price.
I'm gonna try and bring up the tomato price.
Yeah, that's right. A short notice, right? To bring up
Yeah.
the tomato price. My sinuses are actually draining to guys. That's why I sound so stuffy. My sinus draining, my eyes draining, everything.
You know, it's because you're with children, right?
Yeah, because I'm with Anna's even this weekend. Gee,
Yeah.
when will it end?
But I don't get it. They're not at school, they're home, so we should be better.
No, remember they're at summer school.
Oh yeah, they're at summer school. I keep forgetting.
Price in the lot you love drugstore, we're selling, we have a half acre, 175,000. We have a 3/4 acre, 225,000. 225,000, yeah. So you as a citizen, you have no control over interest rates, no control over inflation and whatever I'm telling you. What you must do is real maths. You must know if you go supermarket this week and you spent 100 US, next week you realize you have spent 150 US. Inflation 50%. As far as me concerned, not 10% or 5% that they're telling you. Right? So you have to figure, you have to know it. Also, I've said it before, a quick little trick to know if the inflation is gonna run on you is your bread price. So in Jamaica, the national baker put a little thing, a twister thing to lock the bag and it has a price on it and the date. So I always when my kids buy the bread, I don't eat bread anymore. I take it off and throw it in the thing. So I look at it periodically. Once I see that price move, I know inflation is gonna run. So our bread ran from I think it was 800 to 500 or something dollars. Oh, is that 6%? Tell me now. Unless we can.
I
All
heard you
right.
tomato.
Hmm?
$830 for tomato?
No, you have to look at this. So what is the kilogram rate? We want to calculate it in pounds for those persons who are pound people like myself. Yeah. So the
Point
kilogram rate is
and the rate.
1,496.
Yeah.
So a simple math is to divide that by 2. And you get $700. So this telling you that tomato is $700 a pound in this supermarket. So this 830 price you're looking at is a little over half pound. It's a little over a pound, sorry.
Okay.
So that's $700, $14.96 to be exact. Divide the 14.96, 2.2 for the pound. And you know how much a pound, but let us say from easy maths, we say $700 a pound. This is what we call in Jamaica table tomato or salad tomato.
Boy,
So
but I
I used to buy this for $300. So this tells me the inflation is actually 100% and not 10% or 6%. And besides, another thing we realize in Jamaica, once the price goes up, it's not coming down. So budget for pay the $700 for the tomato forever and ever, amen. Until they decide to run it again.
Mom, but do you think because of the hurricane why the tomato is so the price is up there?
The hurricane, I don't think so. They would have had these. I took this when? The day after the hurricane, I think. And I went into the supermarket.
Oh.
Hold on, let me see the date. What date was the hurricane?
The date on the photograph says July.
The date is on the package.
You sent it to me. You send it to Rambo.
The date is on the package. Hold on. Yeah, the 9th. When was the hurricane?
Packaging date?
Yeah, packed on the 9th of the 7th. What day was the hurricane, everybody? What date was the hurricane? Date. While I wait on the date, Janice have a question. What is the process of getting a property valued once you have a valuer? Once you have the valuer will go and get it valued. You give him the address and he goes to the location and he does the valuation. You wait on him now. So there's nothing else for you to do but to give him the address and access. And he goes there. When was the hurricane? Who remember the date? Hurricane.
Lauren said it was on the 3rd.
It was when?
The 3rd.
It was on the 3rd. So this was packaged on the 9th. Now I can't remember if the hurricane caused this. How long would it take them to restock? They would have probably sold out everything.
But would persons have stocked up on tomatoes during the hurricane?
I don't. Jenny's asking, does it make sense to have 3 companies to do it? No, Jenny's. No. Ask one company to do it. And sure, they might come with different values, yes, but depends on what you're using it for. But I would only ask one valuer to do it. He will have in his report some comparisons. So he will say address so-and-so was sold for that, and address so-and-so was sold for that. If you want, you can go drive by those addresses, and you yourself can compare them with your property that you're valuing. If you think the valuation is too low, well, I doubt if you're going to think the valuation is too high. But if you think the valuation is too low, then you talk back to the valuer about it. But I don't think you need to hire 3 valuers to do that. Naku says, hi Naku, morning. Naku says, price gouging has been happening. Oh, that's starting. I just went in the supermarket that day to buy some juice, some water. Juice and water price is the same. I kind of not a ground provision on those things person because I tend to eat ready-made food, meaning I eat box food on the road. The box food prices have moved, ironically. So I guess even though tomatoes have gone up and everything else, some reason the people.
Oh, wait, but where you buy food? I don't think getting tomato in the supermarket. It's tomato from the supermarket they buy.
No,
probably the farmer or something.
Tony Yuga Market. You see, you find it, the prices move.
Oh, you can't ask me about that because you know how I do my market shopping.
Oh, you do your market shopping. Tell the people.
I just go to one lady, give her my money, and give her a list and tell her to put some food in the bag.
And that's it.
And that's
You know, as
it.
a lady, how much a pound for tomato, how much a pound for this.
No price. I don't do any haggling or anything like that. I just don't have the stamina for those things.
So yeah, and I get $3,000 say, this is a list, put those in the bag.
Yes, that's all I do.
That's all I do. Well, Jenny say, I know I can't eat too much box food, but boy, my lifestyle is too hectic.
Mom,
Slow that
but
down.
you know, I realize
Mhm.
when you don't eat the box food, you feel better.
Mhm.
Because I've had to be doing a lot of cooking and stuff now.
Mhm.
I feel better, like inside, I don't feel so heavy and sluggish and tired and my sinus not draining all the time. The food that I'm actually choosing to pick up for myself at the market or the supermarket, I realize just because I'm making that very specific choices, I'm actually picking up healthier things versus when I go to a restaurant or a fast food place and just buy something.
Okay. So what choices you making now?
Well, first thing is that I'm doing a green smoothie in the morning, right? So you know I'm getting free mangoes right now. I'm doing my frozen bananas, and I'm buying berries and stuff out of the supermarket, right? So I'm getting a nice green smoothie or a berry smoothie in the morning. Then sometimes for lunch, I'll get something more potent in terms of oats and chia seeds and flax and sunflower mix and make a smoothie with almond milk and banana for lunch. And that really can put spirulina and those things in. And it really helps through me throughout the day. And then for dinner now, because you know I'm not a big cook. I'm only cooking my fish or my shrimp, and then I'm doing raw veg or some steamed callaloo or something like that on the side. So I've completely like eliminated rice and flour when I make a decision to cook for myself.
Oh. So what about your ground provisions? Your yam, your potato.
You know I can't do ground provisions because I don't like peeling and waiting to boil and mashing and slicing and those type of activities.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a potato. I've noticed there's a new variety of sweet potato on the market. I don't like it at all. When I put it in my box and I realize it is it, I'm so upset. These days,
And I don't know how to choose ground provisions either. So
mm,
well, I
I'm
can.
saying, listen, just give me the yam and banana because that is the same. But the sweet potato, I hit and miss, man.
Yeah, ground provisions take too much work for me. So it's not a choice that I really make. If I have to choose ground provisions, I prefer to choose callaloo and cabbage and lettuce and those things.
Yeah. Any we're talking about food. We're talking about real estate. Then it says don't eat too much box food. Yeah, I agree with you, Denise. People cook with too much salt and some add too much sugar. Yes. You'll be shocked at the amount of oil is in the gravy as well. I know. Nothing wrong with the oil, you know, as long as a coconut oil. But you know them not cooking no coconut oil.
You must cook with coconut oil and then selling the food for $800.
But $800, $500 for my box food.
All of
Yeah,
that.
I'm be turning that water for that to the little lady there. $500 for my stew chicken and one bag of something in it. But that makes it's more cost effective. I mean, the thing with me, if it's for myself alone and I am preparing for, is the cost effectiveness of it. It's cheaper actually to just buy one box food for me alone. Because I mean, most of the times I'm alone, unless I get stuck here. So like with Zana, I save over the weekend, right? But on the road, generally I'm alone. I know it gets sticky, bad. But Tony, you have to make some food for me, man, and freeze it and give me. Although you can't froze the callaloo. I agree, Dennis.
That would work.
Way too much salt and sugar.
Jenny says, I saw purple sweet potatoes in the supermarket. Ooh, that's interesting.
No, the purple variety is good. It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is the original one. But the mother, why the mother horrible one now? I don't know what them thinking. Nobody did a taste test. Them just know say, oh, this quick and fast. But it tastes horrible. All right, everybody. So we have been on here for a while. Those of you new to the channel, I'm Claudia.
And I'm Tony.
And we're here to take your questions on real estate, money, and finance. So you can shoot your questions on real estate, money, and finance. Last week, what we did, let's do a recap. What we did last week. Last week, we did.
What did we talk about last
We
week?
did adverse possession.
Okay.
What was it? So those of you who were here last week, just recap some of the ways that you can help yourself or try and prevent people from adverse possessing your property. Do you remember we discussed some possible ways that you could protect your property, especially if you're overseas. Even if you're not overseas, you could be right here and them do it right under your nose.
One of the big ones I think was put a loan on the property.
Yeah, put a loan on the property. Yeah. Tony, a bright spot. But Naku, tell us what. Naku, you were here. Tell us what. I think Sharika was here too. Tell us some of the ways. Take out a mortgage, yes. Put a loan, RPW, yes. Take a loan on the property. What are some of the other ways? Because if they take a loan, if you have a loan on the property and the titles office sit at a bank have a lien on the property, they're not going to do any dealings with it until the bank has given them a release. All right. So yes, take out a lien. Other ways to rent it, lease it, visit off mortgage. Yes, rent it, lease it. Yes. Rent it or lease to somebody. Somebody said fence and put up signs. Does that really help you? Fence and put up signs? Remember, adverse possession is a paperwork thing, So while you have fence and sign, them still do their thing behind the scenes, right? Buy into a new development. Yes, buy into a new development. Why buy into a new development? RPW, what is the reason for that? Because what? Remember, you're talking to the persons who weren't here last week. I say a question, can board cabins be Western hurricane? Is that a question? All right, I soon get back those questions. Put a caretaker on it, dance and entertainment. Yes, put a caretaker on it, pay him a salary, and have a proper contract in place that he's a caretaker. Why we say buy new development, RPW. What is in the, and by the way, tell us which act facilitates this adverse possession. What's the act called? Tony, you need to set up live so that the persons can talk to us. Check on property period. Get someone to check if you are away. Sharika, that really don't help you. I tell you, adverse possession is something that happens in the background.
You want them to speak to us? I can give them a link.
Because if you have the land for less than 12 years, no one can make a claim on it. Right? RPW. The act that facilitates this says you must be in undisturbed possession for minimum 12 years. So therefore, a land like Hills of Draxall that just get a title 2-3 years ago, if they bring that to titles office are gonna run them with that. Because you have to can prove that you have been on this land for 12 years. And if the land is never even exist, this particular parcel of land was not cut up and discovered 12 years, then you won't win. When you have a title and a piece of land is captured. Yeah, adverse possession. Yeah. If you have a title Them extinguish your title or them kill your title. The right word is extinguish. But them extinguish your title, get a new title, and that is their land now. So if they capture the land, them live on it for 12 years or more, undisturbed. So you never get a notice. You never send a bailiff. You never go to court. You didn't do anything. Them can say, I've been on this land for 12 years. I've lived there with my auntie, my uncle, my kids. The kids are now 20 and I've been there 20 years before and da da da. They can now go to the court with all of that and say that they've been there undisturbed for 12 years. Right? So you gone overseas, you know them capture the land, but you don't do anything. You're like, sure. I'm up on the land and I'm but sure. Take them just kill your title, man. You could have paid tax to the weed. Them just kill your title. Go on with the land, friend. Possession is, I would say, 90% of the law. Possession in this particular act. Somebody to remind us what is the act called for persons who want to go read it for themselves. Who was here last week? Who was paying attention? Sharika? No. Check on property? No. There's another way that I told you guys, man. Yes, buy new development. Yes, put a loan. There's a third way I told you that would block them.
I don't remember the third way.
There's a third way, man.
It's trying to recall.
There's a third way. Who remembers? I'm waiting. Where's the bright spot? Who was taking notes? And I'm waiting on the name of the act. Not that I don't remember it, you know. Trust. There it is.
Yes.
Yes. Trust. Oh no, you could have forget that. Put it in a trust, guys. So the can't say, I never tell you, So don't ball and say them take away your land. I've had, why I'm discussing this because I've had a couple of those last week. Persons call. Start charging rent, yes. Put mortgage on it, trust fund, yes. So listen now. Some of you love just put people in a house and say, oh, you can live there or whatever. Don't put nobody in a house that don't have a loan on it. If you have a loan on it, you can put all the people where you want to put inside of the house and go and pay the loan. But if you have a house free and clear, or a piece of land free and clear, you don't have it in a trust fund, you don't have a mortgage on it, you need to sign up a lease agreement or a rent agreement and charge the people rent and make sure they put the money in their bank account every month. Because a person who has been put on the land under rental cannot bring a case of adverse possession. Can I get it now?
So, Mom, are you saying like your own family can adverse possess you if you put them in your house rent free?
Of course. What do you mean? What do you mean what family can? Listen, I had a case this week, guys. The grandmother put her sister in the place, right? The grandmother's daughter migrated to the States. The grandmother's daughter migrated to the States. The grandmother and the grandmother's sister were living at the house. When the daughter migrated, the daughter took her mother to the States. And the mother took her to the States. So them two gone to America, leaving the grandmother's sister in the house. The grandmother's sister had a daughter, and that daughter also had children. Grandmother died. Grandmother's sister died. So grandmother died, plus grandmother's sister died. Then the grandmother sister child died, and the grandmother's daughter died. So here comes the grandchild now. So
Of the
so now understand? So you have 3 tier now. So 2 sisters, one won the house. So this one put this one in there to live with her. She went to the States with her daughter. She stayed. She had another daughter. one who went overseas to her daughter, she also had a daughter. And these two daughters also had children. So it's a children now who call me because these children adverse possessing the property. So they've lived their whole long or whatever.
Your own family adverse possessing you.
Yes. Yes. All right. So you missed some questions. Limitation of Actions Act. Yeah. Adverse. Yeah. You remember what section it was? Hey, let me see how good you were paying attention. Which section of the act are they to go and read? All right, so Lennox says, can you put land in a trust before the title is processed? No. You have to have the title because you have to put the title on the trust. You have to name it in the trust. My ex-husband did this to me. Even when I have a copy of the title, I'm living in the USA. What? Him take your name off the title, extinguish you from the title? Oh my gosh, and here's a live case, guys. So you know that we're not telling you no nonsense story. These things happen, right? So these things happen. You have to protect your property. Now, I think traditionally what has happened to Jamaicans, they didn't know that the wealth is in the land. I guess most Jamaicans were poor too back in the day. We're talking about 40s and 50s. The British were here. They were the ones who owned the property because the crown gave them land. So when they came from England and settled, the crown gave them land. But a lot of the lands that you now call your family, so-called family land, are lands that the white people in Rwanda leave, say a great, whatever, take it over. Or in some cases, they did actually give the land to your great, right? Michael Manley, the Right Honorable Michael Manley, former Prime Minister of Jamaica, he also had a land lease thing and where he was giving lands for persons to go to agriculture and so on. But some persons got land in that way, and I mean lots of acreages. But unfortunately, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and still today, 2024, persons are still migrating. So they migrate, leaving these lands, and there is no proper transition, no proper history to say, listen, Granny did buy this, she buy this for $10. There's no documentation. Or that Mass John did give her this. Here is the gift deed. Nothing. Here's a conveyance. There is nothing. However, if your family has been living on this land more than 12 years undisturbed, you don't have a title. Go and get a title for the property. All right? So Tony's gonna bring up, let me answer the other questions first. So Tony's gonna bring up the list of what you will need to get title for the property. Now I know a lot of you may have your overseas family members here. I'm gonna say, oh, Janice come on, Cheryl come on, and Marie come on and take for the property from we. And them live a foreign when them have everything. What the you name it. But let's say you're a sibling, you're the only one, or 2, 3 of you are overseas. Get together, claim and get those titles in everybody's name. So if the mommy had, your great grandmother had 5 sisters, all 5 alive, then all 5 names should really go on the property, right? If just say one of the sisters die, then her children would still be entitled. You can also do a subdivision, everybody. You don't have to sit down on 10 acres of land and have it catch up on in a bush and this. You can do a subdivision. And if there are 50 of you in this family, you can probably get 50 lots. And then each person have their own lot with their own title. It just requires a lot of cooperation, which I know that Jamaicans have a history of not being able to cooperate, not being able to trust each other. But we have to stop that, right?
There was a question. Jenny says, does the bank charge a fee to collect rents, or is it simply another bank deposit?
No, you just ask the tenant to lodge to your account. If you have a
Right.
good
So it's just
tenant, they will lodge it to your account. Some of them will dodge you, but if you have a good tenant, they will lodge it to your account. Not a problem. Just give them a bank account number in the lease agreement or in the rental agreement.
Veronica Powell says, you sold my property in Newtown Phase 2. I'm going to give you a call
Oh,
soon.
Veronica,
Hi.
hi! You catch the live. Hi, Veronica. How are you doing? I haven't been over back to Newtown since I sold your property, but I guess that owner would have done bang up things with it, and you would have gone on with your life when you collected. So yes, give me a call. You have my number still, right? Or my email address. 876-292-6776. Yeah, man, give me a call. Any more questions?
Tony, and can you share the link for this? Yes, I can.
All right, so Tony, and you're on which website?
Geoland Online.
Geoland. Now, Geoland have a fairly straightforward process for you trying to get a title for a property that does not have a title. All right? Does not have a title. Right. So it's fairly straightforward. However, some persons from overseas actually hire me to get this title for them. You have to give me some documents. Tony, I'm unable to see the screen clearly. Can you read? And then if they have any questions as to what exactly a particular thing is, they can ask.
One moment.
Let me see if I can find it too.
I put the link in the chat. Title application requirements. First one is any property tax, land valuation documents for the land. 2 is one valid.
Let me make sure everybody understands that. Read it again.
Any property tax, land valuation documents for the land.
Property tax, which you know property tax, or what?
Land valuation documents.
Land valuation documents. I guess the land valuation would show them where it is and all of that. But all right, go ahead. Go ahead. There's something. Let me see if it's on this list. Go ahead. Next.
One valid photo identification, passport, national ID, driver's license.
That's the person who is. Those of you overseas, that has to be notarized. Mm-hmm.
As a part of processing your application, you will be required to provide the following: proof of ownership, certificate of compliance, common law title, indenture, deed of gift, conveyance, purchase receipt, will, or any other document that proves ownership.
Right. So the last one I did, I think we used a will because the mother had left a will. Plus, she also had a conveyance document. Which is why I'm saying that you need to ask your parents and your grandparents, what documents do you have for the land? Some will only have the land tax. The land tax is one of them. The land tax paper, so we call it in Jamaica. Property tax paper, land tax paper, receipt that they're paying the taxes with their name on it stated. So some of them will have that. But you must ask, you have any other documentation? Did your granny buy the land? You have a conveyance, which is a document that says, I, John Brown, sell the land to so and so. Conveyance document is something you can pick up in the post office. Back in the day, that's how we used to sell land. Now we use sale agreements. What was the other thing you could use?
Indenture, deed of gift.
Deed of gift. Somebody giving you a gift of the land, and then type it up that this is a deed of gift. What else?
Indenture.
What's an indenture?
I'm not sure.
I've never used that one. Indenture. Indenture. What does it mean? Come Google. A legal agreement, contract, or document. Oh, so it's like a sale agreement. But remember, still, when you do anything like this, you must get it stamped at the stamp office, all right? And it must witnessed by the notaries or the JPs. You can continue. What's the other document I need?
You need 2 declarants. This is a person who knows the history of your property for at least 30 years and will sign a declaration to that effect. The declarant cannot be a relative and must be over 50 years old. You will need to provide GeoLand with the name, age, address, and occupation of the declarants.
Right. So you need to find 2 persons in the area who know the land more than 30 years, who can say, yes, Miss Jana, Miss Tom did live there and them been married and them raised 3 children and then their 3 children lived there and the whole history of the land for 30 years, guys. And these people must be over 50 years old because I'm not take 30-year history from somebody who is 40 because that person would only be 10 years old when them know the land. So that's why they want somebody 50 years old because at least that person would have been age 20 with this history, right? So you're going to ensure that you have the 2 persons lined up and you talk to them. 2 persons over the age of 50 who know the land more than 30 years willing to sign a declaration. When we submit the documents, those lawyers will write up the what's it called, Tony? Declaration. They will write up a declaration. So you don't have to worry about writing declaration. You just have to provide the name, address, and occupation. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right. If you have questions, put them in the chat while we're going through. If you're not sure of anything that we're saying. What's the next thing?
History of the land. You must be able to explain about the history of the land for the last 7 to 40 years.
Right. Who lived on the land, who acquired it, da da da. What else?
And you need the name, age, address, occupation, and TRN of the persons who are to be placed on the title. And you also need your TRN.
So name, address, TRN of everybody whose name is to go on the title when it is finally processed. Yes.
Right.
Anything else?
And then the last thing, however, if you do not have any of these, you can still apply. Starting an application requires a tax number and a valid ID.
You will pay them some money, you don't have all those documents. Make sure you have the documents before you start the application. What I didn't see there was a pre-check plan. Is it there?
No.
Property does not only have a tax roll number, no title at all. You need to have a pre-check plan. So you have to get a surveyor to do what is called a pre-check plan diagram so that the land agency people can know where this property is. because this pre-check is going to be used to put onto their system. So you need that as well. So the first thing would be to ask for a surveyor, a commissioned land surveyor you need, and get them to do a pre-check for you.
They do note here that as part of a bundled package, they can offer property surveys and formalizing subdivisions.
Right. Sometimes what will happen to you have a piece of land, let's say you have an acre or 2 acre, even more. Persons have already built houses and so on the land. So we'll need a surveyor to go through now and formalize some roads and some part it off so that it can be done. All right. But where you might have a challenge in formalizing those informal things is that these modern times now requires drains, requires you to run water pipes via hydrants, sidewalks, all those things. You're going to find that somebody built where a road should be in the middle of the road, or you deal with that. So those are part of the little nuances, but it may not have to happen to your property. But you just have to start checking, all right? Tony, finish. You want to get to the questions? You might have to back up. Hills of Draxall, I'm seeing that one, 175,000 for half acre and 225,000 for the 3/4 acre. All right, so I see a question. I'm seeing some of the questions. I don't. These looks like I'm ahead though. I'm unable to scroll. All right, you're scrolling back, Tony. Or Tony, since you know where we are, you read the question and then I'll answer.
Okay. Someone says, fun living Jamaica. Can you discuss advantage and disadvantage of building a board cabin versus a concrete house?
Well, the concrete house is more permanent. That's the first thing. So if you own the land, I would build a concrete house. If you don't own the land, you can build a cabin and build it so that it's movable. That way you can lift it up and take it wherever you want to go. Concrete houses outlast board houses any day, right? That block and steel will be there for generations to come, as we're finding out now. If you put a slab on the concrete house, slab roof, then it will withstand any hurricanes and so on. Even earthquakes, it will withstand. A well-built concrete house or building will withstand earthquakes and hurricanes. Board house, your with a board house, you huff and puff enough, yes, it'll blow down. I think it will. All right. Remember that story? It will blow down. Although we have had lots of board houses standing up in Jamaica that haven't gone anywhere. They've been built really well, right? Or maybe the right hurricane don't hit them yet. But block and steel will outlast board anytime. That is my preference, block and steel, because of the longevity. The advantage with board house is that it's easy to build, easy to set up, quick, fast, boom, boom, boom. Finish. Block and steel take a little bit more time, right? Because with block and steel, we're talking about curing of concrete, and we're flash walls, we're render, we do all kind of things with the block and steel, right?
It takes more diverse labor force.
Yeah, it takes a diverse. You need mason, carpenter, plumber, electrical. You need all of those on the board house, but the board house is quicker to build. Yeah, I built a board house, it's faster. But it don't last as long. These days, though, we're using concrete board on the outside for the board houses now. So instead of clinker board or roof and tongue, those boards on the outside, I've been using concrete board, which is a concrete material, right? Plastering is easy. Instead of flashing, use short coat, gray short coat, the outside and the white shore coat on the inside. And it gives us a smoother finish and it's quicker. But we don't use it for large applications, just like the small things. But when you put it up a little bathroom or a little kitchenette there, so here and there, but where they use that. Or using it in a shower area or something, use a concrete board. It's waterproof. But I would say the main consideration whether you go with board house or concrete is if you own the land or not.
And how quick you need the product to be finished.
And how quickly you need it to be finished.
Like suppose you need to have someone housed within 2 months. Then you can probably put a board house and get it done quicker.
Yeah.
Which is what food for the poor do. They try to host people quicker. So they do the board houses.
Yeah. Because the thing with the block and seal, will flash up the walls and so on. Even the deck, even the floor, it has to be cured. It takes so we have to put water on the deck for at least 15 days. That is 15 days that you can't do anything inside because all this water, you can't do anything when the props are there and everything. You still can't do anything. So you have that time frame. Plus, when we even flash or render the walls, I personally wait for those walls to dry out before I apply paint or anything, right? But if you don't, you end up with chalking because moisture is in the wall. So with concrete, you have a time lag. So as Tony says, you want to do it fast, board house, quicker than block and steel. If you want it to last long, block and steel. In terms of cost, the block and steel is similar to board though. It's similar. If your size is similar, what happens is, whereas persons will build a 10 by 10 board room, they don't want to build a 10 by 10 concrete room. When them think about block and steel, them want big house. And that is why it's an illusion that the cost for the board house is cheaper. Because when you have built board house, you're not building a big elaborate house. But once you start talking about block and steel, you don't want 15 by 15 bedroom and nobody don't want a 10 by 10 bedroom again and living room stretch long and you want an auditorium ceiling. Or you want the ceiling high, Miss D, because of the heat and the concrete. So that's where your cost just fly through the window.
And Mom, you have to look at the aesthetics though. It's like if you're going for a certain look, then a board house will probably carry the look better.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, if you're doing
that's why I've gone to concrete board, because I just don't like the look of board house. When I think of board houses, I'm not telling a lie. I just think of Porto. It's like when I look at those houses they're building in the States and the entire frame is board. I'm like, really? They're selling a board house for 400,000 US? Really? Come on, guys.
Well, they probably have better quality boards.
They have better quality board, you're right. But I guess in their environment. And then when I look and I was watching a video the other day, I saw a tornado name. Or torpedo. Tornado, that's what name, right? Just go so shush through the board house and everything gone. All right, have another question?
Yes. Sharika is asking, what's the best banks for construction loans?
Don't know about the best, but we have used CIBC. Who else we use? Construction loan. CIBC. Oh, and JN.
We use JN for construction.
Yeah, and a client who use JN.
Oh, yes.
They're pretty simple, but you pay the cost though. You're gonna pay some fees. Any other question?
Fun Living wants to know, can board cabins withstand a hurricane?
That I don't know.
Yes, they have, Mom. We're looking at board houses that were from 54 storm, 56 storm or whatever that is still here
Where are
today.
those?
We pass one in Spanish Town every day,
Where?
right by the park. I still has its roof and everything intact. There's also one in Red Hills that we drive past. The bottom of the house is concrete, and then the top is
Oh yeah.
the roof and tongue with the
Mhm.
stuff. It's still there.
That kind of hidden by the hills though. That's buffered by the hills. The hills of Kirkland and those hills surrounding it. Kind of buffered.
I think maybe the one in Spanish Town is probably hidden to by the large brick building that is standing in
Yeah,
front of it.
yeah, yeah. But you put that down there to expose and I bury the side to come out huff and puff it gone, man.
But you can hurricane strap the roof on a board house.
Yeah,
Right?
it's not the hurricane strap. It's a base. What happens to some of these board houses? All right, so similar to how we plate a roof, you should plate the base of the board house, meaning when you make the concrete base, you should put the J bolts in it. And then when you put the 2x4 down or the 2x6 or whatever you're using, you should also put the J bolt, put it down and screw on down the frame. You're screwing it down on the ground. Some people just nail the 2x4 on the concrete. You understand?
And probably
You need a J bolt. Worse if it's in the open. If you're buffer between two buildings, chances are no hurricane now come through this or come leak it out. But certainly if you're out in the open, you're up on top of a hill and all these things, you need to bolt it down. Use a J bolt. You have another question?
yes, coming up. Okay, Fun Living wants to know how difficult and cost of doing a subdivision in St. Catherine.
Not difficult. What you need is knowledge.
Very specific
Yeah.
knowledge.
So that knowledge rests in people like me. And you have other persons who are people like me who the knowledge rests in. Um, but it's
Well,
not a
there's a lot
difficult
of
task.
steps, right? There's a lot of steps to it, so you have to.
Yeah, there are other steps, and you have to work with the right professionals. So you have to work with a good surveyor. Your engineer needs to be on point. Um, sorry, who else you're working with? If you're doing drawings, so let us say it's a housing subdivision, you're going to need an architect to draw the houses and the buildings for you. But if not, let us say you're just doing a land subdivision, then you just need the surveyor and your engineer. Now, those two persons are the two persons that can make or break you, both in terms of time, because if they make an error and they make mistakes, and God, then it just goes on and on. Um, and in terms of cost too, for sure. So
And what I realized, Mom, is that the steps aren't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like step 1, step 2, step 5, come back to step 3, go to step 6, and then come back to step 5. It's not linear, so you really have to have the specific knowledge
yeah,
to
and that
know
only
when to
happened with
do.
experience, and only
Yeah.
happened with doing. So I've embarked on writing a book actually. This book is taking me longer than I expected. Every day Tony asks about the book. But I'm actually set out to write 3 books. One is Guide to Buying a Home, one is Building a Block and Steel House, a small block and steel house, and the other one is Subdivision, right? So I've completed Guide to Buying a House in Jamaica. That's finished and that's out there. It's free. So if you want the link, you can ask Tony to give you the link. That book is free. The other 2, though, I am still working on them. And I tell you, when you start to do something, you say, oh, because you have it in your head, you say, oh, try your one easy, the steps. Try write it down now. You Tony, oh my gosh. Try write it down. Like, And then for the I'm trying to do them simultaneous because I want them out, but I think I'm more gonna push for the build the house because we have 227 lots that we're going to be handing over to the Palmetto Pines people. And I want to be able to hand each of them this book before they get their titles, so that they can read it, and so we can stop some of the things that happens in land subdivisions, some of the hiccups that happens in land subdivisions. So I'm pushing to get that book out, and we're handing over in December. So I have to get that book out like by about November, so people can read it, or even October, so that people can start reading it and know what they need to do. Then
because they are the better they are informed, the smoother the process is for them.
Yeah. Because what I find is that we have like a half-finished buildings all over Jamaica. It's because the persons don't know what they're doing. In other words, a homeowner is a contractor, but they themselves don't know what they're doing.
Not only that, so sometimes they didn't choose the right contractor from the start.
Or the right builder. So you have builders, you have contractors, right? The contractor is the one who manage the money, get the people together. So like now, I'm the contractor for a small build in St. Mary. But that person is my mentee, right? So I'm acting as a contractor. I'm not getting paid, but I've hired the builder and the other people to get this job done. I'm merely overseeing it and to make sure that the steps are followed. We're at the right depth for the foundation. We're doing steel work.
No shortcuts. No shortcuts.
So we had to supervise that building down on the land because so I sold her this property with some existing foundation and steel work, but by the time we were ready now to start building the steel rotten, we had to take out all of that, realize the foundation never did properly. The building that is supposed to be set out was shorter than the actual building on the drawing. So we had to get the excavator to dig down the back and so on, get rid of. We took away like 10 loads of sheer stone and dirt. So we're now steeling up. So we're at. I must send that picture.
So Sharika Wilson wants to know, I have a family member whose father gave her a piece of his plot to build. Both houses now beside each other. He died, but wrote a will to state this. However, can she get her own title?
Yes, she can. She has a will. Did she probate the will? She have to probate the will first. So yes, she can. Probate the will, it is very clear. He gave her the land and write a will and say it's hers. So there's a history there. So somebody else can collaborate that. She should have cut off the land when he was alive though. So he could have signed it. That's another thing, everybody. You need to do these things when the person is alive. So your granny giving you a piece of land, pay to get the pre-check and get it cut off, make your granny sign the documentation and get your title yourself, man.
Mommy, nobody wants to think that their parents are not going to be there. And that's why these things get delayed, because as a child, you think your parent is going to be there forever.
But let us say your parent is there forever. What happens if your parent loses memory? Paper don't lose memory. That's why we have pen and paper, guys. Come on. Right? Paper don't lose memory. Thank God it was invented. And thank God something called the law was invented. Right? So Jamaicans are loosey-goosey and point finger. Oh, your piece are between the apple tree and the guinea tree down there, so. And the banana tree. Then when a hurricane come blow down everything, you don't even know where the land stop again. That's why you have survey diagrams with pegs in the ground and monuments. Thank God. All these things, all this body of work was done by our forefathers and foremothers who were wise in them thinking, who also got the gift from the Creator above. We did not to get the knowledge there. use it, right? Inland, we don't point finger again when it comes to land. Everything must be in writing, right? The paper, don't lose memory. The mother give a piece of land, go get your title, man. Sure. She give the land, all you have to do is get the title. A monkey money that, man. Oh, you refuse, you spend all the money below house and you know, get the paperwork. That makes no sense. We are going to pass it on to your kids.
Nature TV says, "Hi Claudia, my granddad died.
Hmm.
He had one child, which is my mother. My mother has 4 children. How do we get the land title out of my granddad's name into my mom's and or name?"
Administration without will. Sounds like your granddad did not leave a will. Am I correct? So if he did not leave a will, your mother is the one now who will bring that now. So please do this before anything happens to your mother.
Yeah,
because if anything happens to your mother, then you're going to know after probate 2 wills, your granddad's and your mother's. As it is now, it's just your granddad. So you're going to go administration without will. You're going to get a lawyer to do that for you. Tony, I'm sharing information. Drop it in the chat.
we see.
What else was I gonna say? Administration without will. Yeah, Tony, put in
Shireen's information.
Yeah. You still have a link for her?
No, I don't think so.
I have another lawyer you can use to Donna McIntosh Bryce. Those of you with adverse possession matters, you can use that lawyer, Donna McIntosh Bryce. I need to get her. We'll set up a link next week so you can have it. You have another question?
Jenny says, "Would you recommend those entitled to family land work to get access to it? I'm asking this from a land banking perspective, considering the price of land."
Those with family land, the what? What's the question?
Would you recommend those entitled to family land work to get access to it?
No. Family land, there's a distinction there. Janice. Family land is a property, I would say, where there has been a proper pass down of the land, meaning the grandfather left a will to your mother, then your mother passed and she leave a will to you, and so on. Proper pass down of the land, we know who own it going down the line. If there was no such thing and your great grand and your great great grand died, no proper will or anything was left, family members just live on this land, build house here, there, don't ever turn for that. That is dead left land. Let me get that straight. So, what was the question? Question was, would you advise to try and get the land? If you're overseas and your family members live on this land out here, is who is in possession of the land is entitled if there was no proper succession going down. These people who live on the land now can now go and claim it. They have lived on the land for more than 12 years, undisturbed and so on. If they say, all right, Auntie Janice live a foreign and Auntie Joan live a foreign, and then 3 other auntie live out here, let the 5 of us get together and do this. Yes, you can do it.
Especially if the land is big enough, like a mini subdivision.
There's a tug of war. We do overseas and who is here. Who is here says them own the land. Who overseas may say they're entitled. They use the word. They say you're entitled, but entitlement is not 90% of the law. 90% of the law is possession. You see, the land, we're not the landowners, we're just the landholders. The landowner of land is the crown in any country. The landowner of the land, which is the crown, which in our case is the government of Jamaica, is not interested in who own the land. What they're interested in is the taxes. If they were interested in who own the land, them fling off everybody long time. What they want is the taxes, right? And for you to keep and care the property. So they don't want you to have this property in ruins, right? You are to keep and care the property. So that is why when you go to court now and you're trying to get it back now from them, the judge going to look and say, who was keeping and caring this property? Who was cutting the grass? Who fenced it? Who had some cows on it? Who planted some trees? Who lived there? That's what the landlords will look at. The land, they're going to say, you abandoned the land.
Genesis said, is it worth the stress?
May not.
Yeah, depending on how complicated the history of the land is too.
It's not worth the stress if the other family members are cooperating. If them cooperating, yes. If them not cooperating, leave it alone.
And it depends on how far down the totem pole you are in terms of getting this
Yeah,
land.
yeah. I mean, you might be a third generation cousin down the line. By the way, cousins can inherit land. It's only the land is straightforward. Is the mother, our father, the children of those mother and father, and the children of those children, and the children of those children. So if you're talking about me, my sister here, so my sister here, so can't inherit before Tony and Rachel Zanderziel. I'm not even in the picture, right? So, Janice, the other people have to cooperate. I've seen way too many bad blood with that. And it usually is the overseas person versus the local person. Local persons feel entitled because they're the ones who were left here. They're the ones who keep and care granny and grandfather. They're the ones with the day-to-day. Can I tell you? They will tell you, say the money no matter. You never there for clean nothing. You're much money, I said.
Jenny says, I'm looking for a small cabin for a small lot that I have access to, and thank you. I'll make it movable. Can you recommend a builder for this?
All right. You're gonna call this lady. Depends on where though. So she builds movable board houses. I think I have a video with her too. You search a video, you'll find it.
The number is still working?
I'm gonna give it to her. She can tell me later if it works. But depending on where you are, what happens is they're in Westmoreland. They can't climb over Spur Tree and Mandeville Hill to come.
Oh.
So.
And they don't build the cabins on spot for you?
That's what you have to ask.
Mm.
So at the time, this was back in 2021, she said that 24 by 12 was 1.2 million. Price is supposed to triple up now. Let me give you the number. So her number, her name is Claudia Davidson, by the way. Claudia Davidson. Her number is 864-8940. 864-8940. Those are the ones that she usually builds. Those kind of builders are a dying breed. All right, anything else?
Dancehall entertainment wants to know, do you have any masonry man to build a small balcony in Cedar Grove, Portmore? I need a quote.
Um,
Masons are a dying breed.
yes. You need somebody to manage that project properly. If I would give you Portmore, I said, are you going to need a
Yeah,
drawing? You're building a small balcony, just a balcony alone? Hold on. Where's the question? Question.
yeah, balcony.
I'm going to give you Carlton number.
You need a
Carlton is a
blueprint.
draftsman as well as a builder. So you're going to make
Yeah,
Carlton look at the project. I would look at it, but boy, I'm kind of stretched now. So just call Carlton, tell him it's me, give you the number. 373-0887. Just tell him you need a balcony, you want him look to see if you need a drawing. If not, but you're gonna need a drawing whichever way you take, or you're gonna know what size and what kind of structure.
maybe I'm right already. Maybe it's like from a extension that was done and they just added the balcony, no?
Balcony seem to be upstairs. What
Yeah,
is
so
below supporting the balcony? Something has to be there below. Unless you didn't bring out a toe beam, I never finish it. But something has to be there below it. Talk to Carlton, make him look at it. He's a draftsman. He will tell you if it need a drawing. Um, yeah, you need to do things right. You have a number 373-0887. Who asked the question?
dancehall
That's
entertainment
an
news.
entertainment. That's Carlton, right? Call him. Tell him it's me.
Jenny says up to 1.3 million for townhouses where I live. That's the board house as well.
Bordeaux. 1.3 million. You know what 1.3 million could I buy me? A real nice villa in Jamaica. Nice. Mm-hmm.
uh, Monica says, good morning. Morning, Monica. John Garner wants to know, my loyal childhood friend asked me if someone from Palmetto will help me with the building of the house.
I'm gonna be there. If I'm there, I can help you. Let's hope I'm here. But we're only for contractors, man. You just read my book. My book is gonna come out and my book is gonna help you to be your own contractor. It's gonna help you. You just have to have correct. You have to just have correct builders. Bye, Janice. Bye, Janice.
Jenny says, my mother was taking care of her business, but she had a stroke. I am not sure if she ever finished. Fingers were pointed towards the street. No one remembers anything. That's what we're trying to prevent.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to prevent, Janice. Go and get it sorted out. It's your mother's land, you sort it out.
Jenny says, administration without a will. Yes, please do share.
Yeah, administration without will. That's what you need to do.
Monica says, those days are over. Leaving land without documents. My dad purchased a square of land in the late 60s and 70s. Marja says, what's your number? Have a house selling in Portmore. Marja, our numbers are actually on the screen. 876-292-6776. I'm going to send it in the chat. All right. Need to scroll far. Jenny says, unfortunately, it's too late for many of us in terms of getting back the dead left land.
Yeah.
All right. Monica says, to make a long story short, The seller's granddaughter reclaimed the land. We have a diagram that my sister received when the survey was conducted.
Okay. That's one like that had a good outcome. Seller's granddaughter
This,
reclaimed land. That's good.
Moses Thomas says, "Hi, good day. I have an ancestral, what's that word, mom? Property. Oh, ancestral. Oh, hi, good day. I have an ancestral property that's deadless land. There isn't a registered will. The executors are dead and all the beneficiaries. The last activity was in late 70. Could I possess? Are you on
Are
the
you on the
land,
land? You
Moses?
live on the land? You live on the land, I would say yes. You're what, a relative? Or just a everybody dead? Go after adverse possession. If you're living on the land, if you occupy, yeah. Over 12 years, yes.
What else? Sorry. Um, Rose says, "Good morning. Where can I get a house in Kingston for 27 million?"
You can check the system. Let's see. Let's see which areas have a house for 27 million. Tony, use my login. I'm using yours. Which parish? Kingston? St. Andrew? Tony? Did we lose internet?
No, you didn't lose me.
Oh,
I think I'm getting, my sinus is being affected. Can you share your screen while I step away for a moment?
oh.
At the bottom of your screen, there's an icon that has a monitor with an up sign.
Bottom of the screen.
Do you see it?
No, that's a private chat. I don't see anything that says share screen. A plus sign, is it? No.
A monitor with an up arrow. Okay, so on your screen, do you see your mic,
Yeah.
video camera?
See my camera and I see my mic, yeah. Oh, here, beside it. Okay.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Time to go here. How do I know if they're seeing the screen though? Are you seeing the screen, everybody? Thumbs up.
Yes, they're seeing the screen.
All right, so I'm doing a quick search. Tony. So I'm searching. Said St. Andrew, correct? St. Andrew. Search. You want house. So let me search from maybe 20 million. 24 million. To about 35 million. None. Oh. Uh-oh. It doesn't have to be gated, correct? All right, let me change this to Jamaican currency. So August don't have a 1-bedroom. Let me get down to your price range. So 27. Let me go a little bit above. Marvelly Community, I have a 3-bed, 2-bath, 17 million. Sherlock, I think that's Duane Park. 20 million Sherlock, 2-story, 3-bed, 1 home, fully installed with security, grills on both levels. You have another Duane Park, Bunyan Crescent, 24 mil. Duane Park, Salke Avenue, 24 mil. Sandal Terrace, Cockburn Gardens. So this is downtown, 25 million. Courtesy Avenue, Kingston, 20. So basically, it looks like your price range is in Duane Park, Washington Gardens, Browning, yeah, Duane Park, 27 mil. Driftwood, Harbor View, 30 mil. It's a 3-bed. Kingston, 3. This looks like Vineyard Town. This is a 4-bed. Ulster, yeah, this is Vineyard Town. Kingston, 3. Harbor View, 30 million. You can go to Duane Park. I hope I answered the question. So about 27 million, they're looking at Duane Park, but this is a townhouse. Like shaped like that. That's a townhouse. Here is a single level house on Potsy. Charming 2-bed, 1-bath. Oh, this is a basic unit. Both are living, dining, cozy kitchen, delightful patio for that ample yard space expansion, endless possibilities. Where's Potsy? What does it say? Two-bedroom. Zinc roof. Looks like they did some renovation on this one. Kitchen is tiny, but looks like they did some renovation. 27 million. Yes, basic unit. So that's what you get to the same. So you're looking at Duane Park. One is 25. Sandal Terrace. Where is that one? Sandal Terrace. This one is a 3-bedroom to the front and 2 separate units behind with all amenities and only 9 meter income. The property is located in a cul-de-sac, adds to its privacy and all these things. Not sure where this one is. We would have to check it. Some renovations here as well.
Um,
Hmm?
um, on the property itself, we don't see that page. You have to then share. You have to then the tab that's at the top that says share this page. Right, there you go.
Oh, you weren't seeing it. So this is the one for, what should I say this one was? 25 million. I'm not sure because where it is. Where is it? Where is it?
Yes. What? Where does the direction say?
um, no, I don't even know how to come out of this. Ouch.
You will stop sharing that page and then go to the page that you want to be on,
Okay.
and then click share that page.
Stop sharing that.
Okay, you turned it off.
Turn it down. Um, and I'm still lost. Hold on. Exposure.
You can.
This one for, which one was I looking at? It was a Potsy, no? One after that. Driftwood or Ulster. Which one I said had a one bedroom? Tony, last man, last man, last.
Just bring back up the page
Oh,
and click.
Cockburn Gardens it is.
Okay.
Oh, this one is at Cockburn Gardens, and I'm trying to find out exactly where this is. Walton Park Road, coming from its intersection with Hagley Park Road, take a left onto Woodpecker. Oh, down on that side.
Mm-hmm.
You either go onto Hagley Park Road and then you make a left onto Woodpecker, 25 mile. So I think we'll answer the question. So basically, Duane Park, this is Waltham, Hagley. That's where you'll find houses in that price range.
Seems to be older houses too,
Yeah.
like much older houses.
You have a Driftwood in Harborview too. It's a 3-bed. If you can, oh, I've stopped sharing the screen.
Yes.
If you can go up to the 30 million. All right, you have another question. Time is soon, will soon be upon us.
Okay. Monica is saying, I believe they have a Facebook page as well, the builder in Westmoreland. Okay, that's good. Jenny says, Marsha Ellis says, could you repeat the number for Carlton?
Oh. You have another question while I look for this?
Sure. Jenny says, I'm heading to worship service. Have a blessed day, everyone. Thank you, Claudia and Tony.
All right, so Carlton is 373-0887.
373-0887.
7.
Okay. And here Kate says, good morning all. Are the same size blocks used for exterior and interior wall?
Usually we do because we're coming from the foundation up. So usually we're using a 6-inch block right through. Although there have been times when I've used a 4-inch on the inside, especially if it's a small space. So I'll probably use a 4-inch for a bathroom, but I'm not coming from the foundation with steelwork. I will do that on top. But you still put in steelwork, but with drill. You use an 8-inch block if you're doing retaining walls. So like the project we're doing now, the back needs a retaining wall. So we're using an 8-inch block there. So but the rest of it is 6 inches. So usually in Jamaica, most houses they run with a 6-inch block for the outside and the inside, except when it's a retaining wall, you're going to be using an 8-inch block. And sometimes if it's a very small space, you're enclosing on the inside. So suppose a little closet space, you might use a 4-inch, or a little bathroom, you might use a 4-inch. But we don't use 4-inch blocks to build houses, right? To build outside. None at all. Has to be 6 inches.
Jorge Gilbert says, morning ladies, Palmetto land, them sell off already?
Tony, you can answer that.
We have lots available. We have we'll see the larger lots available. That's the 6,000 square feet ones.
What's the price?
They're about 9.8 million.
So what did he miss?
He missed the 3,000 square feet lots at 6.5 million.
So you sure you don't have any more of those? You can't squeeze him one if he comes.
We'll probably try.
You have a waiting list?
We have a waiting list, yes.
All right, so sometimes what happens first, it will drop out when we're ready to close. So if you really want it, what you should do is come to the location, have a look so that you know what it is. Watch the map. Well, for those, Tony will go first to the waiting list, right?
Yeah.
You go first.
And the waiting list would be the persons who have given me all their documents, their pre-qualified letters, their application, their IDTR, and etc. And they're just waiting to be placed on a lot.
Okay. But the big lots are worth it, 6,000 square feet. We've marked out our 6,000 square feet lots, so you know what it looks like. Come and have a look. And some of the lots are on the hill too. Come and have a look.
I really like the 6,000 square feet lots. For me, especially the ones on the flat, you realize it's so much land when you're walking on it.
But when I shoot out, so I've designed a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. No. Which one did I design? The 3-bedroom.
3-bed, 2-bath.
3-bed, 2-bath. So I've designed a 3-bed, 2-bath on the 3,000 square feet lot. So you will soon see me bring that out now. Maybe by next week we'll have it time to build. And we're actually dropping it on the lot, so you'll actually see what it looks like on the lot. So we'll have a little landscaping and so on. You know, and it's a single level house, not a 2-story.
Says, are there laws in Jamaica regarding roof decks? Men in Ocho Rios, do you need a permit to build a roof deck?
Depends on how extensive this roof deck is. Talk to your architect or call the parish council. Which one? St. Anne? Which one? Which parish is he in?
Who?
Asking about roof deck. Which parish?
St. Anne.
St. Anne. All right, let me give you the planner for St. Anne. Call and ask the planner. What did I save them as well? I would have saved it as Portland, not Portland, St. Anne. (993) 2556. I'm struggling without my glasses, but I've almost made it to the end without the glasses.
I think the glasses is behind your laptop. Onto the.
No, I moved it.
Oh, you moved it?
Yeah, which is. So did you get the number for the parish council, the planner?
I did, yes.
You put it in the chat already?
Yes, I did.
All right, so call that number, ask the planner if you need a drawing. If you need a drawing, you can contact the same Calta.
Mm-hmm. All right, we don't have any more questions. All right, no more questions, Mom.
Potter C is beside Pembroke Hall Primary. Oh, good. Pembroke Hall Primary. Do I know Pembroke Hall Primary? I think so. Yes, I do. Okay, yeah, that's a good location. Central. Just off the boulevard there, so. So I guess it is in Pembroke Hall then. It is beside the primary school. That area is Pembroke Hall.
You sure you know the primary school?
Yeah, man. And when you're turning up off of the boulevard, who knows it? So you turn off the boulevard, I think. It's on that street.
Well, on the right.
I think so. Beside the plaza, I think so.
Can recall?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right, Mom. Anything you want to tell them before we leave?
No, just that they must take charge of their land, man. Work with your relatives, take charge. Anybody have any more questions? If not, I guess we can leave
Right.
early.
The time to talk to your parents, right?
Yeah, you must talk to your parents, man. You must know everything. I mean, parents that age by now, you should have taken over bank accounts and be doing everything for your parents. Parents like me don't want to be hassled with online transfer and pay a bill online and oh my god, I think they're stressful, guys. No one knows something called Tony. No answer, get an eye. Let me just call our text. By now, you should have taken charge of your parents' business. By now. So if they're on their own, you should already be paying their bills, have access to the bank account, have access to everything, be managing their, if them have 401ks, if them have mutual funds, if they have real estate. By now, you should have taken charge of those things, right?
Or even if you haven't taken charge, you've maybe every 3 months sat down with mom and dad and had a conversation and know exactly what's going on.
Every 3 months, every day you should be talking to your mother and father. Every day, every 3 months.
No, I mean about those very specific
But
things.
those things will come out in the talking. Will come out in the talking. I see a question. Okay, the high school is on the street, right? I was advised, so it's a good location. I was advised by the builder when they addition for the back of your house, you would not need a plan. What is your take on that? No, man. Any addition at all from the ground up need drawing. When you're doing the inside of your property, so suppose you have a property renovating the kitchen, you're changing out the tile and those things, you don't need a drawing. You don't need, sorry, I shouldn't say you don't need a drawing. You can use a drawing if you want, but you don't need an approved drawing from the parish council. But when you are doing any addition on the outside, so you're adding a room, you're adding a bathroom, you're adding a kitchen, a porch, all those things. Yes, you need a drawing. Call the planner. Why I was saying to talk to Carlton about the balcony was because I wasn't sure if this balcony already had a room below it. You understand? So if it has a room below it already, and he just probably wants to now put a roof over that room that's already there. So the roof of the room would be the floor of the balcony already. So that's why I was asked, that's why I was saying to Carlton about that. But definitely if you want to add on a room, a bathroom, a kitchen, anything, you need a drawing, yes.
Mm-hmm.
What I'll do some research because the documentation is actually there, you know. Tells you what and what you don't need. So we'll do that next week. What and what you don't need drawings for. What I need to do is go read the planning document, which there is one, a big binder this fat. All right. So Tony, I guess we can break out early today. There are no more questions.
Twitter. So Tanisha said the high school is on the street.
Yeah,
that's not a bad.
And she said the road is beside it, so it's a good location.
No, but we're talking about the primary school. She says the
high school is on the street. Oh, I mix them up. Well, I don't know where the primary school is.
Vanessa says, thank you for the informative session. Thanks for listening, Vanessa. And Anne-Marie says, this was so good. Have a blessed Sunday and a productive week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Same to everybody here. Have a productive week. I will look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.